Their perspectives are helping us all see more clearly. Navarre is back. Teller Prime never left. And Doria is now in talks. And today, we greet the President of United Earth.
Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Judd Morgan, and it appears that the mask is off at Paramount Plus with the Star Trek shows, as they're not even pretending to not be political propaganda anymore. From Alex Kurtzman saying that it is not about the show, it is not about the story, it is about the platform and the propaganda tools you can use from it. And now they're straight up bringing in politicians from the real world to play characters in their show as prominent and good figures. It's straight up political propaganda. It's straight up political propaganda, especially because she's not actually an elected official. She's running for office in Georgia, governor. That is really not okay, in my opinion. I mean, I wouldn't want the government to step in and say, no, that's not okay. I just think it's not okay for a show to be doing political propaganda this blatantly. And I really hope that people reject it solidly, because this is insane. They're showing someone who's running for office in a positive light, even though it shouldn't be, because, it's Earth is an ethno-state, and she's president of Earth, and it's a lot of bad stuff is going on. It's just a terrible planet to be on, and they're showing her as being in charge of it, so I think that kind of backfired on them, saying, oh, look how great she is, but don't pay attention to how bad the world is and how bad everything is. Just ignore that. She's awesome! And when I've seen the video of them walking down a ramp to get introduced to the main characters, and they're all like, oh my god, it's the President of Earth. She's so amazing. She's so stunning and brave. And with that type of portrayal, it's going to affect the more gullible audience to be like, oh, is she really that cool? That's interesting. I'll have to vote for her. And for those dumb people who can't see past this blatant propaganda, it may make a difference in that election. Maybe not hugely, because the audience is so small for Discovery, no one's watching it. But it's still just so blatant and obvious that I can't believe they think they can get away with this without people summarily destroying them. But I haven't heard too much about it beyond people within my own sphere. So we'll have to see if that pans out. But we got this article here from Bounty in the comments breaking it down a little bit for us. So yeah, Star Trek Discovery makes Democratic Stacey Abrams president of Earth as she campaigns for governor in Georgia. That is just so wrong. Stacey Abrams made a special guest appearance in the season 4 finale of Star Trek Discovery as the president of Earth. As Gary said in his live stream, looks like diabetes hasn't been cured in the future. The Hollywood favorite. Why is she the Hollywood favorite? She's not an actress. She's a politician. Hollywood shouldn't have political stances. I've been that way this whole time. I don't think Hollywood businesses in general should have political stances. Individual people, absolutely. You can have whatever individual opinion you want, but I don't believe corporations or companies should have any sort of political standing. And so to say Hollywood favorite, I know Bounty in comment is being accurate with this statement. The fact that there is a Hollywood favorite or any Hollywood favorites is where the problem derives. Announced her plans to run for governor in Georgia back in December, writing on Twitter, I'm running for governor because opportunity in our state shouldn't be determined by zip code, background, or access to power. And I'm not going to go into what I believe, my personal political opinions on her stances, but that doesn't matter. I wouldn't want a politician that I agreed with or disagreed with. I don't want politicians being used as propaganda figures in TV shows like this. Even whether or not I agree with their political stances, that has nothing to do with my opinion on here. I could 100% agree with her and still feel the same way, that this is wrong. This is political propaganda. And Alex Kurtzman, he's not even trying to hide it anymore with doing this and then coming out and saying, this isn't about Star Trek. This is about the platform. And from that perspective, why? Why should people care about your show if you're just using it as propaganda? And it seems like people aren't, because no one's watching it. No one's talking about Discovery. And so, yeah, she even lost when she ran back in 2018. So it seems like even all of Hollywood wasn't able to get her into office. But let's see if Star Trek Discovery can do more than Oprah fucking Winfrey and Will Ferrell. If these people combined couldn't get her into office, Star Trek Discovery is not going to make a dent. But it's just still horrific that they lowered themselves to this level. Abrams has publicly refused to concede the fact that she lost the election, accusing her opponents in the GOP of voter suppression and systematic racism for her defeat. Of course she did. And of course, when you're with Hollywood, when you're with a certain political group, you're allowed to question elections like that. But if you're not, how dare you question our democracy? It doesn't matter what my political opinions are. All this is wrong, whether or not I agree with her or her stance. As noted above, in the series finale of STD entitled Coming Home, Abrams made a cameo as the president of Earth. The episode sees United Earth being evacuated as dark matter anomaly enters the Alpha Quadrant. Okay, so I don't really care what's going on and how bad it is because no one cares and they're writing shit. And in season 4 finale, yeah, it's just breaking down the episode, which I don't give a shit about. And this is how this part goes into how they got her involved in the series. So speaking to IndieWire, Star Trek Discovery showrunner Michelle Paradise revealed that she can hardly believe that the show got Stacey Abrams to cameo. You shouldn't have wanted her to because it's just blatant. And your fans, the smart ones at least, are going to see through it. And the ones that are left, you're probably going to lose some viewership because they're like, oh, this really is propaganda. So your viewers, I fully expect to go down from a dog shit. Honestly, the number of times I've seen the episodes, every time I see your face, I'm like, wow, that really happened. That's awesome. Fucking hell, these people. Paradise would also detail how the cameo came about, explaining, we knew coming into season 3 that bringing the Federation back together would be a season 2 arc. That's it. Okay, it hasn't been brought together yet, though, but whatever. And in the 3rd episode of Season 3, we go to Earth and we find out the Earth is no longer a member, so yeah, it's an ethnostate that has broken off from the Federation, and it's a terrible place. And they had her run this terrible place, but oh my god, she's so awesome! No, it's a terrible place that's done terrible things in the current run of the show. So you're actually painting her in a bad light as a bad politician, as a bad leader, without even realizing it. That's how dumb these fucking people are. They don't even keep with their own continuity. They don't even care about their own story. They literally don't give a shit how this plays out. They just want her in there so people see her in a positive light. It's just asinine. It's very asinine. She's in charge of a terrible planet, an ethnostate, and we're supposed to praise that. See, I don't understand these people. They're terrible at their jobs. Paradise elaborated, as we go into season 4 and got halfway through breaking it, we realized we need a person to represent the Earth, and the question became who should be that person. And, if I had heard about this news, this setup that they're talking about prior to Abrams' inclusion in the show, I would have been like, oh, so Earth is in a really bad spot. They're doing really bad things. It's going to be straight white man that's a Trump parody. That's what I would have expected because it's like, ooh, yeah, bad Earth. Who would run a bad Earth? But they won't even keep up with that consistency. And I would have, just like that just as much as this, maybe a little bit less. But it's blatant political propaganda. I don't remember when the idea came, honestly, but I texted Alex to say, what do you think of Stacey Abrams? Immediately he sent exclamation points and he said, let's set up a meeting. Let's talk to her. Let's see. And she was so kind. We got into Zoom with her and we pitched where we were in the season and who the character was and what this character could represent. And after she would be part with us. Honestly, I can't think of anyone better to represent the planet of Earth in all of that. You can't think of a single person better than a failed politician from Georgia. Not a single fucking person is better. Not one. Not a humanitarian. Not anyone besides her. Okay. If that's what you think. We knew that she was a fan of the show and Trek in general, and for us, there was no better president. No one's a fan of this show. They're lying to you if you said that. So they reached out, and she was really excited about it. Wow, I get a free publicity for my campaign to thousands of people. Wow, I'm so excited. Probably most of them aren't even in her voting demographic, so it doesn't matter. They're just stupid. So, yeah, they're all just so excited about it. Breaks down some of, Mikey Burnham's opinions on it, Space Jesus' opinions, and just some of the stuff about her political standing and whatnot, which I don't want to get into. And it really doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my opinion on this politicians should not be in shows like this, and this should not be political propaganda to this fucking degree. And it just shows how dead the series is. The fans are going down, and no one cares anymore. So this isn't going to make a dent, but they really wish it would, because that's all the show is to them. That's all Star Trek is political propaganda. And that fucking sucks, because I fucking love Star Trek. I wish it was good again, but as long as they keep making decisions like this, as long as Alex Kurtzman is in charge, we're going to keep getting garbage like this. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.